Cakewalk down Main Street, lean and step. Got sound 360, buds connect. Slow dance with a Chris sip chair wheel. I'm an indigo baby, life on stilts. It's a day, it's a time, it's a moment right now. And I gotta get down. Not a second, not a minute, not a last call, baby. Won't live with a maybe. So I step when it's real, bounce when I feel. Get the good flow, move something, get healed.
So guess what? I'm married now, and that's my whole personality now. But it took a long, treacherous journey to get here. The hoe became a housewife.
Welcome to the stage, Percy Rustomji!
So this is the story of how I got food poisoning. And the one boyfriend I've ever had, Johnny, found out I was not white. And I preface this by saying, this is set in the Orange County, like the tinted moisturizer, Mrs. Doubtfire, blue color contacts, right? The master race eyes, okay? The blonde wig, okay, this is that face, okay? So we're here. I was so proud to have this white boyfriend. I was like, I just can't believe it. Somebody loves me. And all I had to do was change everything about myself, right? What an amazing moral. What an amazing story, right? To be able to tell. So he was like, hey, babe, mwah, white. That was a little nickname for each other. Okay, mwah, white, okay. So my boyfriend Johnny was like, all right, babe, we're almost monogamous. You know, we're almost officially together. I just got to introduce you to my best friend at his house party in San Diego. I was like, no, they're going to find out I'm not white. You know, Johnny's a little dumb. They're going to know. He's all, and guess what? We're going to pick up my other beautiful friends from Laguna Beach on the way. I was like, this is it. This is it. And he left, and I looked them up, and I was like, they're going to find out what's going on. So I got nervous, and I overdosed on E. Vitamin E. Because I heard if you take like a tablet of vitamin E, it makes your hair, your skin, everything kind of grow and flow. So I decided to take 10 tablets at once because I'm dumb. And I thought it'd make me cuter faster, and I'd be cute tonight. And I was like, and you know what? What do surfers eat? What should I eat? What do I want on my breath? I know, a tuna fish sandwich. So that's what I'm gonna have. Because what? Let me get. Okay, we're like, you're surfing and stuff, and then you catch the fish. It's very farm to surfboard. So I want that. I'm really trying to sell this idea. So okay, and then I start to notice a little rumble in my stomach, and I'm like, something's wrong. No, you know what? It's nerves. And when you're nervous, that means you care. Okay, so that's what this is. So he picks me up, mwah, white. Cutest nickname. And he goes, you know that saying, just be yourself and everybody will love you? And I was like, from the greatest movie of all time, Legally Blonde, yes? He was all, don't do that. Oh, okay. He said, they don't like furry and funny. They like cool and chill. I was like, oh my God, that's gonna be the new me, all right? I'm gonna be cool and chill. I change everything on the outside. Thank you so much for giving me this platform to change everything on the inside now too. I mean, what an amazing true soulmate. Thank you. I've been waiting for this platform. We pick up his friends. I start to notice the tuna fish sandwich and the vitamin E starting to really mend and meld. And his hot friends from Laguna Beach opened the car. I said, hi guys, I'm Percy. And I threw up all over Johnny's Jeep. And I also felt a little come out the back end too. But I'm not gonna say that, okay? I'm not gonna be like, and guess what, Johnny? I also sharded, okay? What a catch I am, right? I remember he looked at me in the mirror. He was like, it's not that you're going to be the best version of yourself. You're going to be the worst version of yourself, aren't you? I was like, I think you're right, okay? This is the part of the story where you either leave your friend for dead, okay, on the side of the road, you cancel the thing, or you just go by yourselves. You guys, we still went to this house party. Because if there's one thing I realized, nothing's going to stop a gay guy from having a good time. We have this system down pat. His gay friends cleaned up that vomit. They're all, please, we've had worse on our hair. This is nothing, okay? I would knock on the door 3 times. That was my signal that I was coming up. Johnny would pull over that Jeep. They would take my shirt off. I would take my pants off because I had to be all naked to vomit, and I would be like, because I had to be on all fours and naked because at this point I no longer trusted any of my holes, okay? Because they were giving me shots too. Because they were all, the shots are gonna help with the pain. And so it was food poisoning and alcohol poisoning. How cute, right? After a few more times of this, we got back in. Then he takes me to the Del Taco drive-thru where I get naked again and I get on all fours. And what is that thing you hit, that yellow thing? Fire hydrant. That's what I do, okay? I fire hydrant again. I'm naked and I see 2 girls fighting at the Del Taco drive-thru. I was like, this isn't right. You can't do that. You can't do that. I see 2 girls fighting at this drive-thru. I was like, no, I'm gonna stop this. Johnny was all, get back in the car. And I was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. You guys, if your friends say I'm fine in that tone, I'm fine. I'm fine. that means that bitch is so far gone past the point of no return that she came back to make sense of things again, okay? I'm fine. Are you fine? Because I'm fine. I could do another drink, bitch, okay? I'm fine. I remember saying, I have to stop this fight, and I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sing to them. And my voice is so beautiful, probably, that they'll be fighting and they'll be like, oh my God, this music. Oh, this gorgeous melodious tone. Girl, why are we fighting when there's music like this in the world? And they were fighting too. They were like doing the jazz square fighting where they pull each other's hair and they're like, so I get up to them naked, a little vomit on me. They're beating the crap out of each other, and I just hit the high note. I'm like, ah! They were all, what the? You know, girl, why are we beating each other? We can beat this little homo's ass, okay? There's a video somewhere of Johnny pulling me back, trying to fight with him. Being like, so, get back in the car. We get to the San Diego house party. I run up to the bathroom. Johnny knocks on the door. He's like, all right, Percy, it's time for you to be your cool, normal, chill self. My best friend is here. Johnny says at this point, all he remembers is the door bursting open and me running through the door with my pants around my ankles screaming, oh my God, I'm on fire! Because my perspective of what happened from my memory, I was getting everything out, right? I wanted to not be sick no more. I got it all out. Put my hand on the ledge. The ledge broke. There was a candle that was lit on the ledge. I remember flames going down my back, so it must have been like wax, something. Flames going down my back, and I just remember being like, I'm on fire! Do you approve of me? You like me? And by this point, my crystal clear contacts had been cried out. The white tinted moisturizer melted away, the wig flown off somewhere. I remember Johnny looked at me and he was all, Percy? I was like, don't look at me. I'm brown. He was all, the whole time. So it was like Mrs. Doubtfire.
I am a little famous, but when I go back home, my wife says I still have to do the dishes. Shout out to the housewives.
Give it up for the amazing Pressure K!
Now, 90s babies, y'all might not remember this. For everybody else, y'all remember high-speed internet? When it first came out? AKA high-speed pornos? We was all on that desktop together. Y'all know, that's just me. Okay, back to the story. Now, with my new lesbian research, I'm deep into the desktop. I want to answer all the gay questions. Who's the first lesbian? I'm trying to pass the gay test. Y'all know I'm taking heterosexual one. I need. But what I didn't know, that you needed to delete your browser. Okay? Now there's a certain category I got stuck in. BBW. I love a big, beautiful woman. I like big feet, big thighs. We call them ham hocks. I love a big back woman. That means I eat them. You want to get me to your house? Cook some neck bones, some collard greens, a little bit of cabbage, I'm in there. Did I tell you I was on my mama desktop? I was on there for hours, okay? The bus came, I was like, oh, I gotta go to school. So my mama felt the need to bring out the big guns. I needed a new education. Y'all ready? My mama said that God said it is a woman's place to please her man even with her mouth. Now, in my mind, I heard, so Jesus told you to tell me to suck some pee-pee? How do you even... No teeth? I'm trying my best to be a good Christian. How you doing, Damien? How you doing? I ain't know who to be mad at, Jesus or my mama. What Jesus sound like? Thou shalt open thy mouth. Open thy throat to meet thy Father. Who's going to heaven? No. Look, somebody said, what? Be yourself. He's like, I'm sucking penis. Okay. If you want to suck penis, it's okay. You know, I'm a lesbian. I'm learning penis is cool. It's all right. Can I ask a quick penis question? I have a sister. She got this new guy. She said the penis looks like the top of a pepper. So that's normal. I didn't know what yeah, pepper penis? Okay, you look confused. You look, so penis don't look the same. Because I was like, is it the top of a pepper or the bottom of... I said, all my penises are plastic. Copy, paste, they all look the same. Back to the story. I just want to let you know I ain't never sucked no penis. I was like, I don't think I can be a Christian. I just don't think. That's how you read the Bible. What? I'm from the South. Okay. No pee-pee for Mimi. I went to school like, hey, did God tell your mama? Everybody didn't get the sucking penis sign. Okay. Okay. So me, a teenager, I need to retaliate. How we gonna do this versus? We talk about mouth. I'm like, mouth, what can I do? I'm gonna be honest, I was a teenager. I wasn't trying to have sex. I just wanted to wear a little baggy clothes. I played the bass drum. I just wanted boom, boom, pow, pow. And look cool. But she scared me with the Jesus mouth. So I was like, what can I do? Now, in the early 2000s, I got my tongue pierced. Big lesbian on campus. Everybody said, that was me. If you came to my high school, hey, how you doing? This is the cafeteria. Principal. Do you like that? The principal called me in the office. We heard you got a rainbow gang. First of all, we're called the coochie sniffers. Okay? Get it right, principal. You gotta sniff it before you... Yeah, that part. Unless you freaky, I don't care. I love a big girl had a long day at work. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know about coochie crumbs. Okay, sorry, too deep? Too deep. Everybody's not a lesbian. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do penis have crumbs? No, I heard y'all got cheese. Cheese them. See, with coochie, we just kind of open it. Take your teeth out, yeah. I came home with my new and improved tongue.
You better say it.
My mama said, oh. Y'all scared? I'm scared too. I said, oh, that's it? No whooping, no. She said, let's go for a ride. I hope we ain't going down by the lake. Y'all know that story. We pull up to a nail salon. A medi-pedi, I can handle that. That's an easy punishment. But I still gotta look sad. Oh. So we get into the nail salon. This little lady come out the back. She says, "Who's next for the wax?" My mama said, "Her." I said, "Who?" She said, "You." I said, "Ooh, ooh." Now, I know a lot of y'all get waxed, but I was scared. I have no experience with this little thing called wax. So now we're on the way to the murder wax dungeon room. This is the longest walk of my life. I'm splashing the foot water. I'm throwing polish. I even tried to knock the little lady over, but she was sturdy. So now we're in the murder dungeon prison wax room. She put that wax on my face. I said, "Hold on, wait a minute. You ain't gotta do this." She said, "Your mama already paid." Now you wanna prepay? Okay. Now we prepay. She put that strip on me. Tap, tap. She said, 1, 2, 3. Beauty is pain. It felt like Jesus took my eyebrow, dropped it off her head. She started plucking. I was like, "Wait a minute." My mama leaned in. She said, "Try me again. It's gonna be a Brazilian." Now, I didn't tell y'all this, but I like to call my coochie the black bear. The original fur. Everybody make a bear sound. 1, 2, 3. I had to keep the bear protected. Somebody say trauma. I don't with wax. At all. I heard the Brazilian, that's the coochie and the... Y'all be waxing y'all booty hole? Everybody like, "Yup, we do." Hold on.
I have been through chaos, heartbreak, and humiliation, and honestly, it's the only way I can climax.
Please give a warm round of applause for Lady Bushra.
You guys are having a good time, aren't you? Good. Good, because we had to, I'm going to be honest with you, I know the producers don't want me to, it was quite a challenge, parts of this show, because originally we were going to do it at the Kennedy Center. But they looked at me and they said, "Oh, no, you're a drag queen. We know what you're going to do. You're going to find the nearest child and you're going to take it to a library and read it a book. Darren has 3 gay lesbian dads. Do you know what I mean? So we've had to do it over here. Speaking of children, actually, who here has children? You have children? Wow, incredible. Somebody said to you, how many children do you have, my lovely? You have 4 children? My goodness me, sounds like a Victorian ghost. 4 children? Oh my goodness me. Are you from England? Oh, you're from Manchester, very close to Bradford. Oh my God, they've come to collect me. They've come to collect me. And you said you have children. How many children do you have? Wow, incredible, wow. I hate children. Children ruin everything. I mean, just look at the stitching on this. It's the last time I visit an orphanage in Mumbai. I'm raising awareness. Okay, no, and can I be honest with you, America? I don't think everybody should have children. I don't think everybody should have children. Because it's really, really difficult. They even ruin friendships. My husband and I, we used to have this couple friend. We used to have sex on the weekends. It was a great time. And every time we used to hang out, it used to be like, guys, do you want to go out? Yeah, sure, let's go out. Guys, do you want to do a drive-by? Yeah, who are we taking out? Do you know what I mean? Just really nice, wholesome type of things. And then now they've got this child, this little chewing gum with eyeballs. Honestly. Fatima, Naila, whatever his name is. I ain't got a clue. And now it's all about the child. The child has taken all the attention. Now it's like, guys, do you want to, do a drive-by? No, the baby doesn't like fast cars. Do you want to go out for a meal? No, the baby doesn't like spicy food. Do you guys want to go on a night out? No, the baby doesn't like synthetic drugs. So what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do in this child's life? Honestly, be an upstanding member of society? I don't think so. Drag queens hate children. They don't tip you. They can't tap into their trust fund until they're 21. I've researched it. What are they going to do? Give me their milk teeth? No, thank you. And as I say, I don't think everybody should have children, particularly my parents, because my parents kicked me out for being this fabulous. 15 years ago, I was 4 years old. Because I'm 19, remember? Okay, great. So, but you know, because I got kicked out, I had a poor relationship with love. I didn't understand how to work around love. And so every single man I met, I fell in love with instantly and wanted to get pregnant by them. And this saga started when I used to live in Hungary. I used to live in Budapest, yes. And I met the love of my life. He was so incredible, petite, adventurous, and everything I had ever dreamed of. He had the most incredible, non-stereotype career known to man. He was an air host. And the way he shimmied, he was more air hostess. But anyway, and he drove this gorgeous car that was appropriate for his size. A Hungarian micro mini. 2 seats and a worn-out booty. It was so good. And he took me to this gorgeous, beautiful date where he paid a competitively priced amount of money in order to feed me with Hungarian delicacies such as potato, paprika, and famine, you know. And I instantly fell in love, and he had a beautiful dog. That's not a euphemism. He had a really nice dog, and I thought to myself, wow, Lady Bushra, you've hit the jackpot. Air host /S, micro mini, and a dog he still shares joint custody with his ex. Could this be any more romantic? And then, so therefore, I did the sensible thing. I started to become his baby reindeer. And I became obsessed with him, and I thought it was only appropriate to call him at work in Kiev. Oh, that's made you uncomfortable, isn't it? And I was like, Balash. And he was like, yes, Bushra. And I was like, I love you, Balash. And he was like, hello? And I was like, Balash, I love you so much. And he was like, sorry, no speak English. So I didn't hear from him anymore, unfortunately. But then I moved on to my next victim. By the way, do we have any queer Muslims in the room? Oh gosh, we only have one. Wow, the ban is working. Okay, so, help me understand, right? Because I don't understand queer Muslims entirely, even though I used to be one. Because queer Muslims will do everything, right? They will drink alcohol. They will have homosexual relations. They will go to West Hollywood. They will have homosexual relations whilst having alcohol in West Hollywood. But God forbid there be pork on the table. No pork. It's always no pork. Do you know what I mean? Ass up, face down, in a room, in a hotel room. There could be 100 anonymous loads coming their way, but it only takes one slice of pepperoni pizza to ruin the party. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. So I had my moment with a queer Muslim as well. We're going to call him Hajj Boy. Because after I had checked the goods and I was satisfied with the package he was presenting, he took me to his place and he was showing me the Holy Pilgrimage on his laptop, which was glued onto a piece of wooden board, and I thought, fire hazard. And so then he starts showing me the Holy Pilgrimage, and I was like, wow, okay, this is great, whatever. But then he bought a bottle of disinfectant mouthwash. And every time he kissed me, he took a swig of the disinfectant mouthwash because he thought there was something wrong with me. And he looked at me and went, sorry. So then he put protection on. I did him mouth stuff, which felt more clinical at this point with the mouthwash. And then I started passive-aggressively using mouthwash as well. And then we did the deed. And I had post-nut clarity. I was leaving. He's telling me stories of Sodom and Gomorrah. And I was like, oh yeah, it's so bad, we should send money. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. And then he started stalking me and he became my baby reindeer.